And I hope you had a reflective week. Um, Although kung tutusin, interesting din yung mga palabas sa TV, no? Pero ganun na yata talaga. Iba na yung panahon ngayon. But anyway, so let's begin. Hi everyone. Thank you very much for joining our last session in this e-commerce and digital marketing mentoring program for MSMEs and Freelancer. Our 23rd lesson is all about freelancer client management. Um, in the freelance world, there's a lot of discussion insofar as work ethics are concerned. And I think this is where I would like to start the work ethics discussion and just to have some exchange of ideas. And of course, you're more than welcome to share your insights as well. You can press that raise your hand button or type your questions or share your ideas using the chat box. So one of the work ethics issues na pinag-uusapan sa freelancing world and not necessarily limited to online, even for consultants o sa mga discussions one-on-one with prospective clients is do you show your ideas first? Do you show your ideas first or should you receive payment first? Like for example, if you're bidding for a website project and then ang sabi ng client mo, we would like to improve our website. So do you think you can send me your ideas? And then how much will it cost? And let's proceed from there. And of course, that kind of question, of course, you know that it's either this client is not really that urgent in getting the job done, or maybe urgent siya, pero mas gusto niya makipag-work sa mga service providers na willing mag-share ng ideas. Pero yung iba naman, ang thinking nila, bakit ako mag-share ng ideas? Di ang ginagawa mo lang, nag-fish ka lang ng ideas. Pero baka ikaw lang din ang gagawa. Or basta kumukuha ka lang ng mga ideas, tapos meron, kung kanina mo papagawa, lahat ng mga ideas na binigay sa iyo ng ibang tao, ibibigay mo rin sa kanya. So there's a discussion here on how this should be done. But I think it's on a case by case basis. Normally, if you're new and you're really after clients and you are really eager in building your portfolio and you want to be able to come up with designs, but rather than just throwing or creating designs out of aspirational clients, you would like to use your proposals as parang guide mo na rin or pwede maging part siya ng portfolio mo on how you're going to build your project ideas. So there's a discussion on that. So I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. Whether are you open in when you receive a project proposal, are you open in giving ideas already on how it should be done, or would you rather to receive payment first before having a contract first before you start sharing your ideas? It's like I remember having this experience. Somebody who is parang one of the senior managers in a pharmaceutical companies asked for a meeting from me. And then, ang sabi niya sa akin, parang plano niya mag-implement ng digital marketing. So, normally, during the first meeting, I always discern, gusto ko ba itong maging client or not? No? Kasi, when you enjoy your freelance time a lot, maybe your enthusiasm in getting clients is not that high. Especially kung lalo na pa narinig mo na, sa Makati ang office, naku, layo-layo ko dyan. Parang hindi yata ako mag-enjoy na maging client ko yan, no? Pero anyway, so nagtanong ako, and then I started sharing my ideas already. So technically, I was already giving a free consultation to that client. And then to the point that this person was saying, maybe you can document your ideas and then send us a proposal. And doon ako napaisip, do I really want to document my ideas? I mean, I'm sharing my ideas to you now because you were willing to go out of your way to my area, yung malapit sa tinitirhan ko. Kasi pa may nakikipag-meeting sa akin, like ko sinasabi, malayo ako eh. Is it okay if you come to my area? And then if that person will come to my area, I really make it worth that person's while na I want to make sure na he or she will get something out from it. Whether we do business or not, I'm gonna make sure na may clear takeaway siya from that meeting para hindi niya isipin na nasayang yung oras niya para makipag-meet siya sa akin. And then, kaya nung sinabi niya i-document na, sabi ko, nako, medyo tied up ako sa time ko to document. Pero this is what I suggest. Bigay ko muna sa iyo yung ito, I'm sharing to you these ideas. If you want to move forward, then maybe what you might want to do to put everybody on the same page, you might want to do an executive briefing. Um, that is where I can come in, I can explain kung ano yung mga trends, and yung mga ideas ko, ipapresent ko, parang as part of my presentation on discussion of the trends, at least you're all on the same page. And then you can decide from there how you want to move forward. E di parang okay na siya, parang interesado na siya. Then ang next yung tanong sa akin, o sige, when do you want to do this? Ganyan, ganyan. So sabi ko, sige, let us arrange it. And then, maybe you can also give an idea on what is your preferred arrangement. So parang anyhow, parang ang bottom line pala, parang ang assumption niya, yung gagawin kong pagpe-present na yon, na 1 hour executive briefing, I'm gonna do it for free. So I told him na, actually when I do presentations, I get paid for it. It's not about how much is that amount, but at the end of the day, it's gonna compensate for my time and my travel to do that briefing. So, para napaisip siya ulit. So, sabi niya, sige, mag-ano raw siya. I-discuss niya raw dun sa kanyang mga... Kasi supposedly, parang GM na yata siya, no? So, parang ang ano niya, sige, mag-uusap sila and then they will get back to me. So, eventually, technically, hindi siya natuloy. Kapos they were already asking for proposal referral para dun sa ideas nila. Pero iba na yung kumukontak sa akin. So, sa madalit sabi, parang I try to be as helpful pa rin as possible. Pero parang hindi na ako nag-ano-ano doon. JM, I'm curious. What's your thoughts? What's your what's your take on this one? Do you share ideas on how it's gonna be done to strangers, or how far do you go in sharing ideas, or would you rather have an agreement first before you start sharing your ideas?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, let me close the door. Nandito kasi ako sa bahay ng mama ko. Wait lang, my mom's okay. There. Based on my experience sa online work kasi, it's always a red flag when people ask for a documented parang processes on how to get things done. It's always a red flag, especially kung wala pang naset na contract, because all of the work I do is virtual. It's all online, so it's quite difficult to deal with people na napaka-pushy, pressing, and wanted you to provide the documentation on how to get things done. So I agree with Miss Janet that especially for iba kasi si Miss Janet is more local. She's able to deal with clients like face to face. Ako, I don't have the chance to do that. So if we're discussing something with a client for a certain project, I would always just talk and share my ideas with the client via Skype. And I also would like to check. I would always check on the profile as well ng client, because I work online sa freelancer.com and upwork.com. Tinitignan ko yung profile niya and see what other people or what other freelancers are saying about this client. So kapag nakikita ko na maraming percentage ang negative ang feedback sa client, most of the time, I don't push through. Kasi ako naniniwala ako na if a person is an asshole, he will be an asshole forever. Meron akong mga konting trust issues. And most of the time, I am right. If a client does not treat other people well, there's a less chance that he will treat you right as well. So I depend on my instinct on that one, and I agree with Miss Janet.
Thank you very much, JM. All right, sige, let's continue. Another discussion also is, are you organized? No, of course, more often than not, if you're a new freelancer, you're anxious to get a job, and then pag nandiyan na yung trabaho, lalo na kung naging isa, dalawa, o tatlo na yung kliyente mo, o may ginagawa ka ng sariling projects, one way or the other, dumadaan tayo sa experience ng procrastination, no? Lalo na kung siguro may bago kang project na mas excited ka ron kaysa doon sa project na previously hinahandle mo. So, kaya ang suggested is you need to create routines para mas maging organized ka. Like for example, you can use time tracking applications. Like if you're looking for free time tracking applications, you can look at Tmetric.com. You can also use Basecamp for project management. Or kung ayaw mo man nun, kahit na mag-set up ka lang ng mga reminders sa Google Calendar mo on what are the things that you need to get done, para lang wag kang mawala dun sa focus mo at maging organized ka. Bottom line, it's also about consistency. Kaya kung tutusin, kahit na freelancer ka, leadership is very important. Personal leadership. Like for example, yung sinasabi ni John Maxwell, yung law of prioritization. Do you know what are the things that you need to prioritize every day, you know? And really deciding kung alin dito yung mga makakatulong sa'yo, what are the things that you need to do, because the moment you start doing these things, even though they're very hard or maybe they're difficult or for whatever reason that prevents you from doing them or whatever is going on around you, but focusing on the task at hand allows you also to build some sort of momentum, no? And really reach your numbers. If you're not reaching your numbers, you're not getting what you want. Maybe somewhere along the way you procrastinated or you had a backlog, or parang talaga medyo may projects ka nang pinabayaan, tapos kung kailan 1 week to go, 2 weeks to go, magre-report ka naman, saka mo na naman siya tinatrabaho ulit, no? There are no exceptions to that. Even ako, I'm also guilty of that, no? Minsan nangyayari din talaga yon, lalo na kung like yun, may mga bagong shiny, sabi nga ang term ni JM, parang shiny ikaw ba JM nagsabi sa akin, yung parang shiny object, no? Kung may shiny object, wow, shiny object, no? Parang shiny project, dito na naman ako magpo-focus, di ba? So, kaya kailangan, you really need, being organized has something to do by being consistent. Because if you're organized, then that means you follow a certain routine on how you do things, like maybe planning your week in advance, or if you're unable to do so, like thinking the night before on what you're going to do tomorrow, and then at the start of the day you also think about what you're going to do today. You review your projects, you review your clients, which client haven't you been paying attention to, look at your projects, which projects have you not been giving proper attention to. And I think being able to look at something like that on a regular basis, like using your favorite time tracking platform or project or client tracking platform, will be of big help, no? JM, would you like to add more to this topic? Meron ka bang gustong i-add? And then while waiting also, may tanong dito. Hi, Ms. Janette. How about pitch fee? Is it a practice in the online industry? I'm in the creative fields and I want to venture into online consulting, offering creative services. I think yung mga nag-offer lang ng pitch fee, sa ano yun? Double A ba yun? Triple A? Yung mga organization ng mga advertising agencies. I know na when they get invited to pitch, I know there's a pitch fee of like 75,000 pesos, no? Pero napansin ko sa online world, since most of the clients are well, depende, some of them are big and some of them are not so big. But if the client already knows what they want, normally there's no pitch fee. I haven't encountered anyone who has really paid a pitch fee. What I encountered though is a consulting fee. Like for example, they will ask for 2 hours of your time. They will give you a list of questions ahead, and then they will kind of consult with you on what you think. Yun yung mas na-experience ko pa. Although very rare yon sa Philippines na may nagbubook ng ganon. Pero napansin ko sa abroad, common siya na parang kung meron kang gustong itanong, you book a client for 2 hours of their time, and then you fire away questions. But these questions are sent ahead so that the client can prepare. Parang recently, nagkaroon ako ng offer na gano'n sa Cebu, na somebody was willing to fly me in for a day and spend that time with them para sagutin yung mga tanong nila. Kaya lang nakita ko na yung mga tanong nila, parang feeling ko, hindi ko na kailangan mag-fly in sa Cebu para sagutin ko siya. So I ended up referring them to one of my former students para i-handle sila. No? JM, sige, what would you like to add dun sa topic natin?
Yes, ma'am. Ako kasi lately, dati I yung work ko up until now is more on recruiting. So I am all over the place. I support design, I support web development and design, and article writing as well. So naging somehow HR yung work ko, no? Recruiting, talent acquisition. But for me, na-realize ko na because I'm all over the place, yes, maganda yung kita and all, but I think it would be best if I concentrate on a few areas. So right now, I'm concentrating on Amazon, Shopify, all online selling. Because I see na nag-enjoy ako dito, and this is where my cup of tea is. No, but also I also do not. If someone would offer me web development design work, I outsource them. I tell the clients that that's not my cup of tea, but I can help them source local talents. So I concentrate on local talents. I have the opportunity to work with other freelancers abroad, but I choose to choose Filipinos. Siguro this is my way of paying back uh, for the opportunities that are coming my way. So yeah, consistency. I think consistency you cannot learn this overnight, no? You will just learn this along the way, and you're able to prioritize. Miss Janet knows me well. Um, I'm all over the place, but uh, for the past 2 or 3 years, I began concentrating on certain things, which is e-commerce. I enjoyed Miss Janet's e-commerce uh, entrepreneur specialist professional certification program. So I hope you guys can enroll in that certification program as well.
Ako, JM, thank you for the endorsement, ha? Alright, sige. Let's continue. And thank you also, Gerd. So, some additional work ethic issues. So, kung tutusin, there's this article online on how to hire. Although it's an old article because it refers to old days. Pero I really like kung ano yung present dito na from an employer perspective in terms of who are the people that they should avoid. And since we're talking about freelancer client management, I think these are things that we have to face. And maganda earlier on na magkaroon ka ng commitment na hindi ka magiging ganon. First and foremost, yung tinatawag nating disappearing act. Yung disappearing act, I must admit, kahit ako, in my earlier days, I have committed disappearing act. Yung parang sa sobrang hiya mo. Like, I remember, nagkaroon ako ng article assignment from a foreign publication, and then yung supposedly yung i-interviewin ko na nag-agree na magpapa-interview siya, kaya pinitch ko yung story. All of a sudden, talagang hindi na siya nakokontak, hindi na siya na-reach. And parang nung pinitch ko yung idea na yon, parang ang binigay sa akin na lang ng editor kasi parang pang filler siya. Parang it's like a 1 week to go na type of commitment. And I don't know what happened. Talagang siguro I don't know kung what came into me. Parang wala, talagang nag-disappearing ako. Hindi na ako nakipag-communicate na sa editor, hindi na ako nag-explain, parang talagang sobrang hiya ko sa kanya. O kaya para bang na-experience ko rin yung magkaroon ng writer's block. Na-interview ko na yung person lahat-lahat. Pero when facing the computer, parang I don't know. Of course, it was a long, hindi ko naman sinasabing I don't know. I'm sure I know the reason. Maybe something was going on in my life at that time, to the point na sobrang affected yung work ko, no? Na to the point nandiyan na interview ko na siya, ita-transcribe ko na lang yung interview at ita-type ko yung story. Talagang hindi ako makapagsulat. Yung parang I cannot get my groove, no? Kasi kanya-kanya yung mga ano ng mga writers eh. Parang wala, hindi ko makuha yung groove ko. And then I realized later on na writing, although I have written research reports and I've written books, I realized na the more you write, the more you have to get people to help you write because your biases as a writer affects how you write. So halimbawa, when I wrote my first book, I wrote it, I got an editor to edit it, I got a layout artist to fix it. It was my most expensive book project because I paid people. On my second book, I wrote it, and then McGraw-Hill was the one who edited it and cleaned it up. Um, but on my third book, I decided that I will be the one to write it and edit it, yung blogging from home. And that took me parang 3 years to finish it because I had to junk my transcript twice and I was only able to get my thoughts together by creating a mind map. And while I was working on my fourth book, which was sana yung ipapublish ko, na ko sinasabi na ginagawa ko ng e-commerce book, pati yung pagmamind map, nahihirapan ako kasi para bang I have so many ideas na para bang feeling ko, pag nilagay ko siya sa isang libro, baka yung libro na yan maging 600 pages or something, no? And doon ko na-realize, like even for authors like John Maxwell, he really has a partner who writes for him. So, meaning, pwede siya mag-inject ng mga ideas niya, pero may tumutulong talaga sa kanya para i-write yung mga ideas niya. So, kaya pag may mga projects na parang feeling ko na parang masyado na akong maraming biases sa kanya, I really need to get somebody to help. Kasi pag meron akong hindi nagustuhan doon sa takbo ng project, ayan, parang yun yung mga experience ko dun sa mga disappearing act na nakomit ko, no? Of course, no one is proud of committing a disappearing act. And in the old days, you may be able to do it because there was no Upwork, Freelancer.com, there was no Facebook at that time. But today, it's very risky to do a disappearing act. Kasi pag ngayon ka gumawa ng disappearing act, someone can give you a bad comment on your profile, di ba? People can post you on social media and warn about you to others. So I think earlier on, now in the age of social media where you can really be made accountable and you can hold accountable publicly, the more you have to be decisive and, think whether you really want to do the project and can finish the project. And if you have problems with your client, go out of your way in communicating. Alam ko, madaling sabihin yun, di ko may problema ka mag-update ka. No? Madaling sabihin yun even doon sa mga nagdi-disappearing act eh. Pero, we cannot judge people, Kaya nung sa akin, like halimbawa may web developer ako na umaayos ng website ko, ako ko tutusin na pag disappearing act na ako may mga web developers na nag-disappearing act sa akin. And because I have experience on the disappearing act before, sabihin ko na lang, sige, I realize that you're busy or maybe ito na yung, hindi na siguro to yung focus mo. So, sige, okay lang. So, basta in the future, let's keep in touch. Ginaganon ko na lang. Inuunawa ko na lang kasi I've been there no? I know, parang alam ko kung bakit. I'm sure they have their own reasons. Pero the moment you've been there, parang ano lang naman yun parang broken heart, di ba? Pag alam mo na, pag nagka-broken heart ka na, pag nakamit ka na naka-broken heart at kung ano-ano mga pinaggagawa niya, isipin mo, ay nako, sige, I've been there, sige, unawain na lang kita. No? Anyway, ang layo na analogy, no? Pero anyway, second one, fake credentials. Maybe because you want to get an online job, sometimes you get tempted to put so many things on your credentials. Even parang nag-copy ka ng mga profile ng ibang tao on how they describe themselves and then you started putting it in your profile. And I think that's dangerous because clients will be able to see it because they will see it on the quality of your output, they will see it on the quality of your report. And that is the reason why a lot of clients now are looking for certification. Kaya pag sinabi sa akin ng client, pag may namita kong tao at sinabi niya Google AdWords certified siya, mas malaki yung comfort level ko. Kasi alam ko, since nakapag-take din ako ng certification before, alam ko na mas maayos kami makikipag-usap. Kaysa sabihin lang niya na marunong siya mag-Google AdWords. Kasi kung Google AdWords certified siya, then ibig sabihin talagang naikot niya yung buong AdWords. Kasi di ba madaling magsabi na marunong ka mag-AdWords makapag-place ka lang ng ads sa AdWords, feeling mo marunong ka na ng AdWords. Pero actually, napaka madugo ng Google AdWords, no? Kaya pag minsan, pag sinabi marunong mag-AdWords, hindi kagad ako kumakagat, no? mahirap magsabi kung talagang how deep yung alam niya. Pero pag sinabi niyang advert certified siya, then at least mas okay sa akin. Parang ganun din sa digital marketing. I mean, digital marketing is so diverse. Kaya I really don't like this is the kind of field and even e-commerce na para bang you really veer away from the word expert. Like e-commerce is so diverse. It has shipping, payments, it has digital marketing in it, it has just supply chain, it has policies, and advanced digital marketing strategies like affiliate marketing, and so many things to the point na nakakatakot na mag-claim ka na expert ka to begin with. Even with digital marketing, I mean, look at the topics that we discuss: social media, email, search, what do you call that? Advertising tools. It's so diverse na mahirap din mag-claim na expert ka, no? Kumbaga, madalas we just know enough to survive, pero pag sabi mo may expertise ka is a different story altogether. Kaya medyo pa nakakakita ko na masyadong exaggerated mag-marketing ng mga courses nila o masyadong exaggerated mag-marketing ng mga sarili nila. Kung tutusin, nakakatakot yun kasi parang bang you're setting up so much expectations, or maybe you're really that good, pero who knows, your client might know more than you. Di ba? So ingat din tayo sa mga fake credentials. That's why I really like it when I meet people na nag-take ng effort na makapasa ng mga HubSpot exams, like HubSpot Inbound Certified, Email Marketing Certified, Content Marketing Certified, Growth Driven Design Certified. Kasi even though hindi siya ganun ka-hands-on, pero yung foundation, yung principles are very important. Like for me, when I earned my HubSpot certification, talagang nag-commit ako na mag-marketing do things via organic marketing. Hindi yung, before I used to rely so much on paid advertising that 80% of my marketing campaigns rely on paid advertising. Kumbaga parang tamad. Mag-ads ka na lang, maghintay ka na lang na mag-i-inquire, sagot ka na lang ng sagot na mag-i-inquire. Pero na-realize ko na what would work for the long term is organic. And by focusing on organic marketing, I was able to find my 20% who will give me my 80%. And I discussed that during our first session. No? And then, kaya kung baguhan ka, work on your credentials, take certification exams, even on Upwork and Freelancer. I know that you can take exams there. So I would suggest using them, take them, especially if you're new, use that to build your credentials. And then there's also the time waster. Ano yung time waster? Yung time waster, the way it was described in this article, ito yung mga walang ginawa kundi magtanong na 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 magtanong. What I suggested is that i-brief mo yung as much as possible when you're new, when you're working with a new freelancer, no matter how expert they may seem, always have a regular Skype meeting with them para to ensure that there's understanding, answer concerns. But if this person keeps on asking keeps on asking questions or engaging you in debate, or kung ano-ano yung para bang to the point nagde-debate na kayo, nag-argue na kayo on how things will get done, what is suggested is that i-terminate mo na yung project kasi parang it is perceived as a delaying tactic, no? Kaya hindi siya suggested. And then it's also a red flag kapag meron ding mga service provider na nag-o-offer ng mga kanilang services on a bargain. Like for example, somebody offering you a 500 words article tapos ang sisingilin lang sa'yo $3. Are you really gonna grab that offer? Is it even realistic na magbayad ka ng that amount for a high output? Like alambawa, papagawa ka ng website na alam mo na if you outsource it in the real world, it's gonna cost you $500. And if somebody offered it to you for $50, are you really gonna take the bait? So, ganun din dun sa mga service providers. And I think doon pupasok yung issue sa pricing. Di ba, there was a discussion before on how much freelancers should charge. And yung mga medyo matatagal-tagal dahil sa industry, they often advise the young ones not to charge too low kasi it's not good. And then I remember, nagkaroon ako ng graduate from the Pitan City last year sa aking Rural Impact Sourcing Technical Training na nag-charge lang siya ng 1,500 pesos yata on the creation of a WordPress website. And of course, meron siya kasing computer center na pinupuntahan na free, na doon niya pwedeng gawin yung project niya. Nagra-run siya ng social media marketing campaign for the client. Nagpo-post siya 3 times a day sa mga iba't ibang groups, 3 posts per day. And he was only charging 500 pesos. And I was asking him, bakit ganun lang ang charge mo? Sabi niya, ma'am, kasi gusto ko talaga magkaroon ng project kagad. Gusto ko lang maranasan na may project ako. Hindi ko muna hinahabol yung pera. In fact, I even referred two of them to two relatives na nagpapagawa ng website na alam kong sobrang liit din ang budget nila, no? Pero yun na nga yung mga ganun, siguro pwede kong referral and maybe you can get away with it kung medyo baguhan talaga yung tao pero skillful naman sila. Pero it's not really advisable kasi, you get what you paid for, no? And then there's also fraud. Ako, kaya hindi na ako gano'n dati, I used to have a content writing network. I ran it for like 3 months, pero I decided to abandon it altogether kasi naging victim ako ng fraud. I was handling 5 hotels, blogs ng mga hotels, and then I got writers. Parang shout out lang ako sa mga freelancer writing groups, kung sino yung gustong mag-join sa network. I gave them my budget. I think I was paying $100 for 20 articles. So parang $5 per article yata yung naging budget ko. Although I expected naman talaga na mag-research sila for it, no, para magawa nila. And that was like 10 years ago. No? I think 10 years ago. Yeah, parang ganun yung naging budget ko sa kanya. Pero kung tutusin, ang isang batuhan ko ng project noon was 20 articles kagad ang binabato kong project per person. And then, so nagpa-publish na ako ng mga articles, and then I had one experience where after publishing the article, siguro within 2 days, the blog had a comment that said, please attribute this article as the source of this story. So I was surprised. So I look at the link that was provided. I look at the article, and for me, it wasn't copied, but the flow of thought is the same. So I asked my writer, for this story, who is your reference? Because it's okay naman talaga. Wala naman talagang 100% sariling ideas niya. I mean, hindi naman siya expert eh. Article writer siya. So expected ko na talagang may sources yung stories niya. Parang ito, I'm giving a talk right now. May inattribute akong source, although pinersonalize ko ng buo itong story na to, itong slide story na to, no? And then sabi niya, hindi na raw niya matandaan kung sino yung source niya. That raised a red flag for me. So, doon ko na-realize na talagang kailangan i-compel ko na magbigay ng links. Pero gaya nun, no? Kung ito, napakasimple lang naman ng tanong ko. Sino yung article source? Ano yung sources mo for this story? Wala siyang mabigay sa akin isang source. So, I had to take that article down. And I had to write the story again. And buti lang, medyo management story lang naman siya, like how to hire people. So, hindi naman ganun ka-hard mag-isip kung paano mag-hire ng tao. No? So these are some of the... Kaya ngayon, kung tutusin, you're very careful in hiring writers. Kasi nga, it's easy to copy articles. And I remember in one of my classes last year, meron akong isang class sa province. And then nakita ko yung article. Sabi ko, bakit tong blog post na pinublish mo, kinapi mo doon sa isang blog site? Tapos sabi niya, ay ma'am, niran ko yan doon sa, Copyscape ba yun? O yung plagiarism checker? Pumasa naman daw siya. So, ibig sabihin, may binago lang siyang pieces dun sa story. Pero ikaw, when you look at it from the human eye, alam mo na it's the same. May mga binago lang siyang changes para pumasa siya dun sa mga Copyscape o dun sa mga plagiarism na checker na sites. Kaya, kung tutusin, dito talaga yung issue sa fraud, medyo serious concern siya, no? Right? Lalo, at least from my point of view, lalo na dun sa writing sector, no? Pero anyway, Jem, what are your thoughts on this one? While waiting for JM to come in, tanong ni Girly, would actual experience in years compensates for lack of certification? Actually, hindi Girly. Kasi minsan yung years natin, especially if you're applying sa technology, like kalimbawa, I mean, I've been running Digital Filipino since 1999. I've been in the online industry since 95. So what I know then may not necessarily apply now. Kaya nga yung mga bago ngayon, when they pitch ang sasabihin nila, pag sinabi akong successful ako, I'm referring to my experience in the past 2 years. I'm not saying that I'm successful for something that I've done 10 or 15 years ago. May mga ganun kung humugot alam mo kagad na may mga pinapatamaan sila na nag-claim silang expert sila and everything. Pero yung mga success stories nila happened 10 or 15 years ago, which may not be or 5 years ago, which may not be relevant anymore at this time. So that is why um, the it's either you keep yourself fresh on projects or you keep yourself updated with your certification or both. No, ideally both. So kapag sa certification, HubSpot is a good place to start because all of their certifications are free. You can also check on AdWords because their certification also is free. Hindi pa ako motivated sa Facebook kasi yung mga title ng certification nila, campaign specialist, pang ahensya masyado So, hindi pa ako ganong thrilled on that, no? Pero HubSpot and Google are a great place to start. Now, if you want to demonstrate project management, you can also go for Scrum certification. Although kung tutusin, you need to attend actual classes for that and take an exam, no? All right. Sige, JM, would you like to add?
Yes, work ethic issues. Actually, napansin ko mas malaki yung burden when it comes to online because in a traditional work setting kasi, people can see you, they can see you face to face, they see what you're doing, and if you have a supervisor, of course, nakikita ka niya lagi, they keep tabs on what you're doing. But ang danger sa online kasi is once a client gives you access, there is some sort of may limit kung ano yung pwedeng magawa or makita ng client dun sa management ng access mo. But for example, dun sa Google Drive, makikita mo naman yung mga activities doon But sometimes because, yes, we don't have the luxury of time, we cannot really check on what each of your virtual assistants are doing, no? Mahirap yon. So, for me, napakalaking factor nung honesty when it comes to online work. And if you do not have that as a freelancer, you can get away with it siguro an instance or two, but it's not gonna last long because the clients will find out. So ako in all of my dealings with clients online, I am always honest. Fake credentials. Never did this in my whole life, but of course we cannot deny that there are people who does this. Ako naman, I do not really condemn people who post fake credentials because sometimes I believe na sometimes you have to fake it to make it, no? But depende din because if you pretend that you know this stuff and then client hires you for a certain fee tapos you cannot deliver, then I think yun yung mali. Fraud. I have no idea with this one. Disappearing act, I did this once before. Because, yeah, just like Miss Janet's, minsan sa sobrang hiya mo because you cannot deliver a certain work, hindi disappear ka na lang. I only did this once and I never did that again. If hindi ko kaya yung work, I would always tell clients na I cannot do it. But another interesting fact is yung nasabi ko kay Miss Janette, yung digital marketing work. Digital marketing is not really my cup of tea. It's more on e-commerce. Sales kasi, I always dread this kind of work. But it always follows me like a ghost. So nung sinabi ko sa client na this is not my cup of tea, I cannot help you with this. After a few days, he went back to me, sabi niya, he's gonna pay for my education. And he doesn't mind daw na I'll handle his team. He'll help me out. So siguro ang payo ko in all of this is to be honest. Because sometimes kasi hindi skill yung pinag-uusapan dito, it's your attitude. If they see you some sort of an honest person and if they're comfortable with you, lagi sinasabi ng mga clients ko. I had many clients who have been with me for like 8 to 10 years. They would always say na I am the only person whom they feel comfortable working with. Siguro, malaking factor din yung how you communicate. That's why if you're working online, it's not that ikaw pinakamagaling na speaker and all, but because they don't see you face to face, you're only the best weapon that you have is how you communicate. That's why it's very important that you hone your skills in communication. I think it's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. Yeah, it's a process. So, but of course, you have to take responsibility in your education. Naniniwala ko, and I agree with Miss Janet, that when you take a certification, it's not permanent. Like nung kumuha ko ng e-commerce certification kay Miss Janet, na-realize ko, it's just the beginning and it doesn't stop. And napapansin ko na siguro in 3 months, in 6 months, nag-iiba na. Yung core pareho lang, pero nag-iiba na yung the way we process things. That's why na-realize ko na dapat talaga you allot budget for your continuous education.
Okay. Thank you very much, JM. Sige, tuloy natin yung discussion. So, the next topic that we would like to discuss is how often do you update your clients? So, it depends on your discussion with your clients. Pero ideally, of course, if you're using time tracking tools that your client provides you or the marketplace provides you, they have a way of tracking the time that you spend in the completion of or in the progress of your projects. But another thing also is that you can also submit some project progress reports. So usually a typical project progress report can include project summary, like what the project is all about and what are the deliverables for the week, or what are the key deliverables, what was done already and what is still in progress and about to be done. You can talk about your key milestones so far. You can also talk about your weekly accomplishment. So what were you able to complete during that time? There's a difference between completion and in progress. So I think it is important to communicate what was accomplished. You can also, depending on the scope of your project or the nature of your project, it will also be good to log change request history. Like for example, you did something na you believe it's okay, pero yung client mo nag-request ng change na may pinamodify sa'yo o may pina-improve sa'yo. So maganda na ilog mo rin kung ano yung mga change request na binibigay niya. Kasi these are additional hours na baka mamaya habulin ka, kapos mamaya makalimutan ng client na ilang beses niyang pinapalitan sa'yo yun kasi palagi siyang may bagong idea na naiisip. And then you can also include what are the top priorities for the coming week so that there's an agreement on what needs to be done. And then risks that you have to mitigate. Top risks may not be that critical if your project is only something that you deal with your client. But if you are dealing with other players in the team, like for example, if your work output is also dependent from the feedback of 2 other people, or your work output is dependent on a person giving you the inputs at the right time, then you have to communicate this as your risk, no? Para at least mas klaro siya. Sa Scrum, meron kami tinatawag na sprint, no? Kaya kung tutusin, when we talk about a 21-day campaign or a 66-day campaign, for me, I see them as a sprint. So usually you can divide projects into 2-week sprints if you're new. So what can be accomplished within the 2-week period? When we talk about accomplish as in complete, kung kasama yung documentation, na-test na siya, o na-approve na siya, kasama yun doon sa 2 weeks. You can have a 2 weeks accomplishment or 2-week sprint or a 4-week sprint. Pero usually if you want to implement Scrum, kailangan meron kayong in a face-to-face world, meron kami tinatawag na daily huddle na parang something that you do in the morning, everybody stands up and they only answer 3 things. What did I do yesterday? Or, yeah, what did I do yesterday? What am I going to do today? And what stands in my way? So, and that way, your Scrum Manager, apart from having an update on what you did and what you're about to do, will also be aware on what stands in your way. These are risks that has to be managed or problems that has to be addressed so that you can be on schedule. Because if yung what stands in your way is not resolved, that means hindi mo magagawa. Makaka-hurdle siya para ma 100% complete mo yung what you are supposed to do, no? So, kanya-kanyang techniques. So, meaning a progress report is not just about a progress report that is in paper, but it also covers the relationships that you have with other team members and also how your client communicates with you. It's a challenge if you have a client who cannot get back to you ASAP because not getting back to you ASAP may also affect your work deliverables. So these are the things that you need to discuss. And if your client is busy, it may also help if they have a designated person that you can get in touch with who can also give decisions so that you can be on schedule with what you need to do. JM, would you like to add some ideas on project progress report?
Yes, ma'am. Based experience ko sa Upwork and Freelancer kasi, it is when a client hires you for a certain project, they would also usually, di ba? I mean, all the time. Ang mga platform na yan, yung mga job marketplaces na yan, like Freelancer.com and Upwork.com, meron yang integrated na messaging system sa loob. So, when a client hires you for a certain project, the initial conversation happens within Upwork.com or Freelancer.com. And then they would ask you if you have a Skype because they're more comfortable working or speaking or chatting there. They don't use the Upwork messaging system. That's fine. They have a point there. Their ideas are valid because minsan nga ang hirap gamitin ng application if you don't have the desktop, if you're not using a laptop or a desktop computer. It's good now to use Slack or Skype for communication, but for progress report, I would always say na you send an email to the client via Skype or Slack, and at the same time put them in Upwork messaging or Freelancer.com. Because most of the time, may mga asshole kasi ng mga clients, and they sometimes file disputes. And sa mga terms of service, if you're reading on the terms of service ng mga Freelancer.com or Upwork.com, if you're not communicating inside that platform and a dispute happens, tapos siguro nag-run na yung project for a few months, no? Tapos ang dami mo nang kinita. So minsan, makikinita mo na is $5,000 or $10,000. Tapos biglang nag-file ng dispute yan. Most of the time matatalo ka because you will go through an arbitration process and parang magkakaroon ng court, parang a third party court, no? Parang ganun yung setup. So,
yung $800.
magkakaroon ng arbitration. Yes, ma'am?
Yung ba yung $800?
I'm sorry? $800.
Do you pay for that? For the arbitration?
Yes. Kapag arbitration, merong bayad. Last time, nung nagkaroon ako ng issue, that was 2013. Mura lang naman siya. Siguro $100. Nag-dispute lang yung client. And because we were discussing outside Upwork, which is Skype, So, walang progress report na nangyayari inside Sky. So, nanalo yung client against me, even though nag-screenshot ako na we were working, my VA is working. So, why would you like your $125 back? Diba? Kasi ilang araw pa lang nag-work yung ano, parang hindi raw siya satisfied and all. Sabi ko, nang bibigay sa yung report, why would you want a refund? So, nagpala siya ng dispute sa Upwork.com and he won the case because wala ngang messaging na nangyayari inside Upwork. So that's the um um that's the negative side of working in those kind of platforms. So kapag nagsasubmit ka ng, we call that accomplishment report. So when you even though the client is not responding inside Upwork, my suggestion is you put your accomplishment report inside as if you are talking to the client and as if the client is able to read that. Para makita ng Upwork na kapag nagkaroon ng dispute, nagkaroon ng arbitration, you go into a case, you go into that virtual court, no? Walang masasabi yung Upwork na, hindi ka nagtatrabaho. So, ibig sabihin, china-charge mo yung client, meron kang progress dun sa project mo, and you're delivering what is being asked.
Okay. JM,
so, yun yung siguro yung suggestion ko dito.
Okay. Thank you, JM. JM, pwede pa-check, pa-clarify lang nung magkano yung arbitration fee. Kasi parang I read somewhere na parang 800 na yata siya. Can you check? Just like to
I'm not sure. Kasi nung sa Freelancer kasi, last time, it's $5. Sa Upwork, it's $25.
Okay. Parang may arbitration fee yata kapag hindi rin kayo nagkasun. Parang bang kung gusto mo pa siyang kasuhan outside of after Upwork, na parang meron pang third party na arbitration. May mga ganun-ganun pa na nakita ako. Pero of course, if you haven't been there, pero
charge ako is 25.
Oo. Alright, sige. Anyway, we'll discuss that whole
part. I do not know now. I will check.
Sige. Thank you. Alright, so there are many ways that you can accept payments. Of course, if we're going to talk about Philippine context, you can use your bank and accept direct remittances to your bank. Pero yun na nga, please be cautious on this one. Kasi syempre may mga amla-amla tayo. Kaya yung iba, kapag meron lang silang cash card and then all of a sudden they started receiving large sum of money, ayan, tinatanong sila ng bangko, hinahanapan sila ng kung ano-anong documents, no? Kaya pag ganito, na talagang malalaki na yung mga transactions mo, then maybe it's more practical also to open a business. Of course, you can also accept your payments via PayPal. Although my challenge with PayPal, if you're new right now, their new policies can be quite stringent. I think if you're new, you need to be a member of the platform for, was it 30 days or 90 days or 60 days? Basta kailangan maging member ka muna ng platform ng matagal. Tapos nakapag-process ka ng 5 successful transactions, and each of these transactions parang will be paid to you after 30 days. At parang pag nalagpasan mo yung 5 na yon, saka ka lang magkakaroon ng regular account. And yung regular account, yun yung you can receive the payment now and withdraw it. Pero doon sa bagong sistema nila ngayon, para bang meron na silang pagbago ka, parang after 30 days mo po makukuha. Of course, on the side of PayPal, that's understandable kasi sa sobrang dali niyang gumawa na account, sa sobrang dali makagawa na account doon, pwede talaga siyang take advantage ng mga people of bad intentions, no? Pero my challenge talaga, biggest challenge ko with PayPal is they don't have an office in the Philippines. So, ibig sabihin, and both JM and I had our share of dispute problems with PayPal. Pag talaga nagkaroon ka ng problema, it's very hard for them to cooperate and submit to you documentation that you can use to file a complaint or to submit a complaint to the bank. Wala, no? In fact, I wrote an article before that also partly covers JM story na kausapin mo yung cardholder, nabayaran na niya yung card niya based on sa pinang-purchase niya sa'yo. And then, X months later, bigla ka na lang magkakaroon ng chargeback na hindi naman initiated ni cardholder. Siyempre, hindi mo na masisingil si card holder kasi sabihin naman niya, binayaran ko na yung credit card ko for that transaction. Kaya recently nga, when they were looking for uh, parang yung agency nila, when they started looking for people then na they can work with para ma-promote din yung brand nila, sabi ko, parang ano ko is, it's hard to promote your brand because you don't have an office in the Philippines. You don't have customer service. Although, of course, if you're partly connected to the brand, you can help you, maybe your disputes will be handled better, or maybe the people you referred will be handled better. But that's not the way to do business. If you're really that serious na i-promote yung brand mo, mag-positioning ka, kailangan mag-set up ka ng office sa Philippines. And I guess that's the reason why at first hindi ko na-appreciate si Payoneer. Kaya lang when Payoneer started doing business in the Philippines, at first I didn't have use for them. And then that's where I thought of finding ways. So buti naman nagkaroon ako ng project na I had to process payments from overseas. At ayun, nagamit ko na siya sa cj.com, yung sa Commission Junction. So tuwan-tuwa ako dahil nagagamit ko na siya ron dahil medyo active ako sa affiliate marketing. Nagagamit ko siya sa Patreon for accepting pledges from people. At nung nagkaroon nga ako ng hackathon project recently dito, yung aming Halo-Halo Hackathon, lahat ng mga payment ng suppliers dinaan ko dyan, at lahat ng suppliers I also paid it through that platform. Pero yun na nga, the nice thing about Payoneer is that they have an office in the Philippines, and yun, okay din naman, madaling kausapin yung country manager. So yung country manager mismo nag-render ng tech support. So if you open a Payoneer account, you will have a US, Euro, British pound account, and if you open a Payoneer Plus, you can request for an upgrade to a Payoneer Plus. You can have a Chinese yuan, Japanese yen, and Australian dollar account also inside the system. Okay. There's another platform that is also suggested by other freelancers, and that is Skrill. And then of course you can accept cash if your client is local. You can also accept cryptocurrency payments and route it through coins.ph, or if your client is local also or international, you can also accept payments via remittance. And of course, if you're operating a business, make sure that you have proper documentation. So especially if you're dealing with local clients, so that you can pay your taxes properly. There's a service called taxumo.com where you can register and pay your taxes. Pero it's not just about paying your taxes directly. You have to properly register sa BAR and parang register yourself as a professional. You have to submit your birth certificate. I think may barangay clearance pa yata. And then required na ngayon na umattend ka ng seminar kasi yan yung complaint before sa BAR, parang hindi sila, parang they were accused of not educating. Kaya ngayon talagang ni-require nila yung mga kumukuha na umattend talaga ng seminar. May mga experts din like sila Emelino Maestro who conducts tax seminar from time to time. There's always a big debate whether you should do financial accounting or tax accounting, and it seems parang they were citing a case in court recently. Now we are encouraged to practice tax accounting instead para siguradong compliant ka with your taxes. So maybe if you're seeing na lumalaki yung income mo at talagang you think that this is something that needs to be managed, then I would suggest checking out yung mga sessions din nila Emelino Maestro. Another thing that you might, before that, JM, meron kang gustong i-add tungkol sa payment options, or are we good on this one?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Dito sa Payoneer, dito sa Freelancer.com and Upwork.com, most of the time clients would ask if they want, if you agree to be paid outside Upwork. And if you're communicating inside Freelancer and Upwork.com, you have to remember na monitor yan ng mga customer service agents. So, monitor siya in such a way na kahit every time na mag-pop up yung mga ganun na mga terms like PayPal, payment options, and all that, or be paid outside yung mga words na yon, natitrigger yon and masasend yon sa back end. Mababasa yun ng mga customer service agents. And during kapag nag-respond ka na, yes, I am willing to be paid via PayPal and not through Upwork, ika-cancel nila agad yung account mo. That's why it's very important na you have to be very careful. And ako, if I have the client, if I took a project within those job marketplaces, I usually don't take them outside. Kasi parang, like me, I've been working in Upwork since 2010. So 8 years na halos yung account ko. So mahirap naman kung makancel siya. Because kapag na-cancel siya, maka-cancel din yung mga ibang accounts ko or mga agents ko below, within that agency. Yung PayPal naman, madam, alam mo yung naging issue sa akin with PayPal?
Yeah.
Na pumunta pa ako sa barangay. Yeah, pumunta pa ako sa barangay. You know what? Hindi ko na siya natuloy kasi nakulong yung tao. He was involved in illegal drugs.
Okay.
Yeah, so wala na rin nangyari. So I lost the 30,000 pesos.
Oo. Kaya nga nung may tumatawag sa akin dyan binigay ko yung article link natin Kapag sabi ko, ayusin yung, pag nag-guarantee nyo maayusin na yung mga ganyang process, may sagot na kayo. Sabi ko, saka tayo mag-usap ulit.
Mahirap kasi sa PayPal, it's not that they are trying to ignore your issues, no? Probably because they are a big company, no? If they find that a certain issue is complicated and you have no way of getting back to them and file a legal case against them, or yes, you do not have a financial and time resources to really spend that and confront them with that issue, pababayaan ka lang nila, they will just cancel your account. That's just like what they did to me. Although nakapag-create naman ako ng ibang PayPal account because I received money overseas then. It's a really a nightmare. No, imagine more than 10 years na yung PayPal account ko, and they can just cancel it like that. When I have all the legal resources to tell them na I am filing a legal case against this person, na nag-commit ng credit card fraud. So wala talaga. Ako pero na-realize ko in the end na hindi nila talaga kasalanan, like yung mga individual who works there. It's just that they are constrained by their own policies and yung limitations ng kanilang organizations. So yun, napatawad ko na sila, madam.
Sa akin, Jay, ang ginawa ko naman, dahil nga sa naka-hold, no, because of that one dispute, kasi pwede ka naman magkaroon ng dalawang account, di ba? Isang personal at saka isang business. So, what I ended up doing, nag-open ako ng second account. Tapos nung nakausap ko nga sila because of that article, pinasara ko na lang yung dati kong account. So, I started fresh. Dahil tuloy-tuloy naman yung transactions ko. So, yung requirement nila na maka-first 5 sales ka, tapos 30 days, okay lang. Kaya lang yung nga lang, parang, dati kasi parang gangho pa ako na mag-educate to people on how to use PayPal. Pero after that experience, na-realize ko na parang unless they have an office here, that is the first warning that I should always give to people na yeah, you can use it, pero remember, kapag talagang push comes to shove, talagang magkaroon ka talaga ng malaking problema, hindi mo sila mapapatawag sa DTI, hindi mo sila mapapatawag sa BSP, hindi mo sila mapapatawag hearing, they will not provide you documents para makatulong, para makapag-proceed ka sa mga kaso mo. So, yan.
Saka wala kang relationship manager, madam.
Wala kang relationship.
Compared dito sa Payoneer, may relationship manager ko. So every time a problem arises, agad ako nakaka-contact sa kanila and they are able to fix it immediately. Siguro ang mahirap lang ngayon, limited pa lang yung mga services na pwedeng mabigay ng Payoneer. But I am hoping na soon they are able to compete neck and neck with PayPal.
Pero di ba meron ng Amazon integration, di ba? If you have an Amazon store.
Meron naman, although hindi ko pa siya na-try, and I'm quite excited to check on yung mga features niya. Hindi ko pa siya na talagang na-try. Pero I'm quite excited with Payoneer. PayPal is also good. It's just that they charge too much.
So yung 4.5.
And siguro dahil exactly. And probably because may sakit na loob pa rin naman ako sa kanila. Kaya ganun. But of course they are pioneer in the industry. And we cannot deny the fact na talagang malaki yung
market,
yung sakop ng business market nila. So
okay, sa akin, JM, pag the moment Payoneer is an option or US bank deposit is an option, talagang by default sa akin Payoneer. Pag talagang
lahat ng mga transactions ko, Payoneer na siya na halos
wala ng choice na talagang PayPal lang yung option, then PayPal. Pero yun na nga, like si Commission Junction, they do bank deposit eh. Since si Payoneer, they provide you naman with a USD bank account. So, yun, automatic Payoneer na yun, no?
Payoneer na talaga.
So, parang ngayon lumalabas kung pwedeng siya ang pina-priority. And of course, they have the debit card. So, nagagamit mo siya pambayad ng mga, pwede mong gamitin sa department store or pambayad mo sa mga online services. So, sa akin, siya ang pinambabayad ko dun sa mga GoDaddy ko, web hosting ko.
Napapansin ko, ma'am.
Amazon.
Because, hello?
Go ahead.
Hello? Okay. Sorry, I'm cutting in and out siguro sa internet connection. Napansin ko man siguro, whenever I communicate kasi with PayPal and they tell me something and they respond, minsan iba yung mga sinasabi nilang yung mga help section. Siguro because Philippines has a different level of access, yung mga Philippine accounts, minsan yung mga binibigyan nilang mga FAQs sa'yo or mga help sections articles ganon, hindi mo makikita dun sa account mo. So, nakaka-frustrate yon kasi nga, probably siguro ma-fix yun now that they have an office, now that they are opening an office here in the Philippines. Siguro ma-fix siya. Pero as long as they do not have a local presence here, tapos magiging clueless sila lagi when someone from the Philippines message them. Yun lang yung napansin ko. Minsan bibigyan ko ng mga articles on how to fix your problem, but you cannot find it anywhere within your PayPal account.
Okay. Sige, JM. Thank you very much. But of course, PayPal is still a good option. But yun nga, ang suggestion ko lang, use it with caution. Dahil nga wala silang presence. So kung magkaroon kayo ng problem, mahirap kunin yung assistance nila for dispute, no? So yun lang yung reminder natin on that one. Okay. Next. There's always a question when dealing with clients that we dapat daw parang ang palaging sinasuggest is that this is something that you always have to ask. And I think even hindi lang sa trabaho mo, you can even ask it with your friendship, with your loved ones, no? With your best or your best friend, no? Parang, are you happy with me? No? Or are you happy with my work? So, parang kami ni JF, pwede ko talaga si JM, are you happy with me as your friend? Or are you happy with me as your peer?
Siyempre, ma'am.
Ganun din, no? Sa client natin, are you happy with my work? You can also ask your parents, are you happy with me as your daughter? O kaya, kung may asawa na kayo o may boyfriend, girlfriend na kayo, are you happy with me as your love relationship, di ba? So, kailangan daw, are you happy and are you satisfied? Alam mo, Mike, nakikita ko si Mike Abundo. Mike, alam mo hanggang ngayon, bigla naalala ko yung status mo sa Facebook. Remember that yung slapping incident ni Ann Curtis, you posted something on Facebook. Bigla siya bumasok sa memory ko ngayon. May post na ganun si Mike before. Pero anyway, that's a different topic altogether. Anyway, so are you happy and are you satisfied? So, the reason why I mentioned that is because in handling disputes and complaints, more often than not, disputes and complaints and even arguments on relationship, whether it's friendship with loved ones, with at work, always stems from being unhappy and unsatisfied. Last time kinuwento ko, nanonood ako nung Breaking Bad, dahil nga itong week na to, wala lang, Nasimulan ko lang siya. And nag-aaway doon palagi si Mr. and Mrs. White. O para may Cold War sila. So it's all about also being happy and being satisfied. So in handling disputes and complaints, don't wait till it reaches a level that you will have a dispute or a complaint. It is best that you talk ahead and always check with your client if they are happy or if they are satisfied with your performance. Is there anything that you can improve on, especially if you have a new relationship with the client, para maging proactive ka. Kasi di ba may mga clients na parang pinagbibigyan ka lang. Tapos kung kailang galit na galit siya, saka na lang niya sasabihin sa'yo lahat ng kapalpakan mo na pinagbigyan ka lang niya. Parang dispute. Parang akala mo nag-uusap kayo, okay naman kayo. Yung issue, parang nare-resolve nyo naman through Skype, parang napag-uusapan nyo naman. Pero nung nagkagulo-gulo na, biglang lahat ng mga issue niya, akala mo na-solve yun na, na-resolve yun na, bigla niya ibabato lahat sa'yo. No? Parang away, ano lang yan eh, girlfriend, boyfriend, na parang pag nag-away na, pati yung mga kasalanan 2 years ago, 5 years ago, o 10 years ago, nauungkat ulit, no? Parang ganun yan. So remember to handle it. What is often suggested is that if you have disputes and complaints, don't let your emotions get in the way. Handle it professionally. If you feel that you are emotional, you're better off to stand up and get away from the keyboard. Minsan, kahit ako naramdaman ko yan eh, yung pag bigla akong nagalit, yung parang biglang may sumusundot sa utak ko, yung parang it's like a spike up. And then, pag nagtatype ako sa keyboard, yung enter, talagang lumalagapak. No? Yung pak! Ganon. Kasi talagang inis na inis ako. At nararamdaman ko yung pagtatype ko full of sarcasm. No? So, of course, I don't post like that on Facebook. Sabi nga nila eh, what we see on our what people see on our timeline is an edited version of ourselves. But of course, in private conversations, a lot of that comes out, no? Especially when it involves relationships, completing projects, among others. So what is often suggested is kaya nga yung personal leadership development really has to be ongoing kasi we're only human eh. So you need to be reminded na, kailangan ko na magbago, I should stop being like that, no? So that come dispute time or perhaps avoid dispute altogether. So you can avoid dispute altogether as what JM said. Really communicate. Check kung may problem. Check if there's anything that you need to improve. Pero kung talagang umabot ka na dyan, then it is suggested that you always handle it professionally. Respect the relationship that you have with your client because at the end of the day, you started in a good setting. No? Para bang best intentions were there when you started. No? Identify the source of dispute kasi baka naman it's a communication issue o kaya it's a logging, time tracking issue or siguro parang lumalaki yung larga ng hours mo pero hindi naman nagmamatch dun sa mga reports mo, no? So that is why you have to communicate with your client on a regular basis. And more than just communicating, you always have to ask the question if they are happy and satisfied with your work and what they want you to improve on. I think those 3 things are very important to ask your client on a regular basis. And as much as possible, resolve any differences with your clients immediately. Wag mo nang paabutin na mag-platform complaint pa kayo. Wag niyo nang palagin sa Upwork o sa Freelancer. Wag niyo nang hintayin umabot pa sa Facebook at magsiraan kayong dalawa, no? Kung pwede, talagang resolve it na kagad. And look at the amount that you're talking about. You also have to decide whether you're gonna fight or are you gonna let it go. If the dispute is $100, are you better off letting go of that $100 rather than have a bad complaint or a bad rating on your profile? Or you go for a dispute settlement or you go for dispute and then you have to pay a fee at kung talagang hindi ka satisfied, kukuha ka pa ng third-party arbitrator. Diba may mga arbitrator? And I think sa mga arbitration services na recognized ng mga platforms, mas mahal pa siya. So, of course, if we're talking about large amounts, that's the reason why you have to manage that Huwag mo hayaan na lumaki yung utang sa'yo. Really have a good schedule for payments para kahit pa paano, hindi dapat siya umabot sa ganyang kalaking amounts, no? So the more the earlier you can manage the project, yung expectations among others, mas ma-manage mo siya na maayos. All right? So before I turn over to JM, siguro some additional pointers lang, no. Like dito sa Upwork Center, employers are capable of disputing a freelancer's hours, no? Especially kung work hour ka. Kaya kailangan meron din silang means kung paano sila makakapag-file ng dispute, no? I think you must file any dispute during the 5 days after the billing period closes. So may mga explanation dito as to paano sila makakapag-file ng dispute. So I think it's very important na ma-familiarize nyo yung sarili nyo sa mga dispute policy. And then, what happens if my client disputes my hours? So meron ding explanation dito. If you accept the dispute, all of your disputed hours are refunded. If you reject the dispute, i-review ni Upwork yung work diary. So kasama na rin dyan yung mga pagsasubmit mo siguro ng mga reports, no? Yung mga non-compliant hours mo ay i-refund dun sa client. Pag hindi ka nag-respond sa mga dispute, i-refund na yung dispute hours at masususpend pa yung account na yun. Although you can speak to a dispute resolution specialist kung para ma-reactivate yung account. So may mga ganyan silang na kailangan maging aware kayo. As a freelancer, you can also dispute a client's failure to release a milestone payment. Yan, may mga ganyan din sila. So, pag a client ends the job with an escrow balance or fails to release a milestone payment after delivery of work, note that, pagkakaintindi ko, kasi nag-create ako dati ng employer account sa Upwork, hindi ka makakapag-log ng project ng parang hindi ka naka-register ng credit card mo, among others, hindi ka verified, para makita na capable ka to pay your client, to pay your contractor, no? So, you can also, meron siyang mediation. Under Upwork, disputes enter mediation process with an Upwork dispute specialist. If your client fails to respond to your dispute within 7 days, it will automatically be resolved in your favor. Okay? Users usually come up with an agreement amongst themselves, but if the parties are unable within a reasonable amount of time, magpo-proceed na siya sa sa process ng dispute. Okay? And then, meron din dito, respond to or dispute feedback from a freelancer. Okay? You must be done within 28 days of the contract ending. Okay? And then, dispute only available under limited circumstances. It isn't possible to dispute feedback. Okay? So, yung feedback, pwede kang mag-respond within 28 days or pwede ka rin mag-dispute ng feedback. No? Kasi nga, pwede kang bigyan ng bad feedback eh. So, merong process dito kung paano mo siya i-handle. And then, some of the developments also na nakita natin online, may mga initiatives ngayon. Actually, I've seen, this is the second time or third time I saw one, yung merong nagtatry na mag-create ng blockchain for the freelancer industry. Like ito si eternal.com. I apologize, no, hindi ko na maalala yung isang nakita ko last year na parang ang idea nila is that there's this token called ERT. So freelancers are sorted by reputation. The more reputation you have, the more likely for you to land jobs. Okay, so you need to have an ERT at stake para magkaroon ka ng smart contract. And then employers need the token to stake when hiring. And pag moderator ka, must stake to solve disputes. No? So parang lumalabas, they're introducing a token to be a smart contract token na parang pwedeng gamitin doon sa marketplace. So I won't be surprised in the future kung yung mga Upwork and Freelancer, although I don't think they need it, but it depends on their perspective. Lalo na kung lumalabas na yung mga ganitong channel, they might also consider integrating blockchain. Moonlighting.com actually is also another freelancing website, pero naglalabas na rin sila ng sarili nilang ICO. So, if you visit moonlighting.com, pwede kang mag-enter ng profile mo dyan. Pwede kang maghanap ng online jobs. And then, maglalabas na rin sila ng sarili nilang ICO. Okay? So, yan. Pag-eliminate ng risk ng online hiring, no? Reducing the cost of documentation, among others. At ang kanilang token na ilalabas, ang tawag sa kanya ay Moonbit. So far, ito lang yung timeline ng moonlighting.com. And then, ano yung mga plans nila for their ICO. Okay? So, kung medyo interesado kayo sa mga blockchain technology, of course, blockchain is more than Bitcoin, pero ito na yung mga platforms also embracing blockchain technology. And then, just in case you're not aware, in New York, there is actually a policy called Freelance Isn't Free Act. Kasi para bang there is a dispute. Pag sinabi bang freelance, you're giving something away for free. Kaya may mga ano-ano sila, pinag-uusapan sila tungkol dyan, no? So, merong policy nung nirelease ng 2017, which is a local law, 140 of 2016, Freelance Isn't Free na act. So, ito it talks about the rights of freelance worker. So, ang definition nila ng freelance worker is any individual hired or retained as an independent contractor by a third party to provide services for compensation. So, it can include gigs, tasks, projects, side contingent work or contract spec, freelancing, contracting, subcon, consulting, moonlighting, entrepreneurship, alternative arrangements, or self-employment. Whether you are not a freelance contractor. So, ano yung rights nila? So, rights nila, number 1, all contracts worth $800 or more must be in writing. Agreements between you and the hiring party. At dapat yung contract is in the 120-day period. Okay? Spell out the work that will be performed, pay for the work, and the date you get paid. Meron din silang model contract. I'll show you the model contract. Hiring party must pay you for all your completed work. You must receive payment on or before that date that is in the contract. Pag wala raw naka-include na payment date, the hiring party must pay you within 30 days after you complete your work. Tapos meron silang provision on freedom from retaliation. It is illegal for any hiring party to threaten, blacklist, or otherwise deter workers from exercising their rights. Kasi, di ba, may mga contractors minsan na, delayed ka, dahil delayed ka, ipe-penalize kita ng $10. Yung ipe-penalize ka nila. I remember yung isa sa mga yung isa sa mga freelancer na I got a chance to work with and was also one of my former students, si Genesis Ronico, no? I remember in one of his early presentations sa freelancing, yung mga unang niyang jobs, may mga contract provision siya na kapag may mali siya nagawa o parang may na-delay siya pa yung pinapenalize ng client to the point na parang siya pa yung nagkautang dun sa client niya, no? So may nagkaroon siya, yun yung mga parang bad experience niya sa kanyang mga clients. So dito sa policy na to na nirelease sa New York, it is illegal for a hiring party to penalize, threaten, blacklist, or deter workers from exercising their right. Denying a worker future work and threatening to take unwarranted legal actions against a worker are also illegal. So meron silang complaint process. And you have the right to complain. So ito yung model contract nila. So interesting siya kasi even if you're not gonna use kung naghahanap ka rin lang naman ng kontrata na pwede mong gamitin, ito, para maganda na to, no? Kasi parang may legal basis siya, no? Although, of course, sa New York ito, pero at least, kahit pa paano, it will give you some sense na ano dapat yung itsura ng kontrata. So, if you want to check this out, you can visit this link. So, I hope interesting siya for you. And if you want to see the freelancers, yung rights ng mga freelancers, nakalagay din siya rito. So, yan. And of course, you can read the law for more information. Tinitingnan ko. And of course, I'd like to thank also JM Mariano for joining us today. Si JM you can also check out JM on Upwork at gaya nga na sinabi niya, he forms teams para maka-answer dun sa mga needs ng mga clients. Pero ang kanyang specialty, nag-focus na siya sa Amazon. FBA refunds, negative feedback, Amazon seller central account inventory, Shopify, and the likes. GM, may gusto ka bang i-add dito sa pag-handle ng disputes and complaints?
Wait. Sandali, ma'am.
And of course, if you have questions, you can also type your questions using the questions box kasi last topic na natin to. And then afterwards, we will end the session.
Yes, ma'am. Based on my experience with handling disputes in Upwork.com, because $125 lang naman yung dispute ko dati. I would always tell clients, tell freelancers na communicate within the Upwork platform. So yun kasi naging experience ko dati talaga, naging problema ko when I lost the case dun sa contract na yon. You have to show to Upwork na you're communicating, you're doing the work, you're accomplishing what is the task that is laid out to you for that particular project. Para when the arbitration happens, marireview yun ng Upwork, the third party arbitration committee, so that you will be able to win the case. So if they cannot see that that work is happening inside the platform, so hindi ka rin naman mananalo. But it only happened to me once. I don't think I have enough data for me to support na ano pa yung pwede kong ma-suggest about handling disputes. But so far, that is my experience. It only happened once. So do not, siguro, to avoid disputes then, do not encourage clients to work outside Upwork, especially if the conversation is happening inside the Upwork message system. So do not do that. So ako lagi kong sinasabi na if the contract happened within the Upwork platform, there's no way for me to take it out. It's not gonna happen. Although may nangyaring isa, that was before, that was 2011 pa. And we've been working outside Upwork since then. But ngayon, the climate is different. So I would always advise against working outside Upwork if the contract started there.
Okay. JM, may question dito, no? Basahin ko siya. Thank you, Mike. A fish does not know what water is because it is always immersed in water. People often do not know the strengths and weaknesses of their own culture because they are always immersed in their own culture. What unique cultural strengths and weaknesses should Filipino workers take into account when working with global teams? So, ulitin ko, JM, what unique cultural strengths and weaknesses should Filipino workers take into account when working with global teams? Siguro while waiting for JM to reply, kasi I have a member in our family, yung daughter ko, no? She's working sa isang game development company. Yung mga RPG, yung mga role-playing games, no? So they develop games. They also develop the platform where the games are being developed. Tapos yun, nagmamarket sila sa Steam at kung saan-saan pa. And may mga katrabaho siya sa Japan. Siya rin yung parang developer dun sa isang, I forgot the name of the game, pero nakapag-raise siya ng Kickstarter funding, taga Canada naman. And napapansin ko, in my observation sa kanya, I think one of the reasons, of course, kaya siya kinuha kasi dahil yung pagiging conversant niya on the language. And I think kapag naging immerse yung Pinoy dun sa culture ng mga katrabaho niya, napapansin ko na mas, anong tawag dito, may flexibility. Kasi nga siguro dahil by nature, napapansin ko sa mga Filipino workers naman, dahil nga we appreciate the idea that we're working online. So we tend to be flexible. Parang we go out of our way of being flexible. At napansin ko rin na mas patient tayo makipag-usap sa mga team members natin and explain things and even argue with them as necessary. So, yung patience, no? Nandun yung patience natin and our desire na mas magkaintindihan, especially kung especially if we're passionate with what we are doing. Insofar as weakness is concerned, I'm not so sure if it's a cultural weakness, pero napansin ko, by default kasi, yung, except lang ko talaga may comfort level ka na dun sa team mo. Pero madalas, parang hindi naman talaga tayo pala-away or pala-argue. So, parang we tend to go with the flow. So, I think meron din siyang share of disadvantage that pwedeng you deserve more pero baka dahil nga mas flexible ka, baka you're not getting what you're really worth. Anyway, those are my observations dun sa mga, at least nakita ko nag-work na online. At although on my part kasi, since I got the chance also to work with other people, pero dun din part lang din ako ng team So parang mas nakafocus ako dun sa deliverable ko rather than coordinating with other people. How about you, JM?
Yes, ma'am. Ako kasi, dahil matagal na rin ako online, I've been working since 2004 online. Sa mga job marketplaces na to, like Upwork and Freelancer, nag-start ako 2010 when I left my full-time job dito sa Clark. So when you work online, nakala mo you just work for yourself, but you will realize na because the office or job itself is being democratized na, ibig sabihin you can now work with someone like halfway around the globe na hindi ka nasa office, nasa bahay ka lang. So napapansin ko na you start to carry the flag. You somehow represent your country when you start working online. Kasi when people ask, or when clients are asked kung anong mga nationality gusto nilang kunin for a particular kind of work, lagi nilang sinasabi yung country. For example, I would hire someone who's a web development specialist from India because they're so good in technology-based work. Kaya naman sasabihin nila, when it comes to writing and social media marketing work or virtual assistants or project management, I would definitely hire people from the Philippines. So they will not say anything about they will not mention any particular names. They would mention a country. So when you work in a job marketplace like this, marirealize mo na you just don't work for yourself, you work for your country. So most of the time, if I work for someone, I try to I represent my country. Mga negative naman, cultural thing, napaka-submissive natin. Miss Janette was right, napaka-submissive natin. So much so that when a dispute arises, usually we just let it go for the sake na ayaw natin ng argument. And we tend to lose a case, or we tend to lose a certain argument because of that. Siguro may a little bit of advantages and disadvantages doon kasi naiiwasan natin yung gulo. But pangalawa is na-undermine yung individuality natin because we cannot make a point. No? Ako siguro dahil matagal na akong nakikipagtrabaho online and majority ng mga clients ko, like 99% are all abroad, no? Mostly US, Australia, in Europe. Nakuha ko na rin yung ugali nila na napaka-assertive, no? And hindi na rin ako masyadong polite when I talk. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. I'm polite, but I'm very assertive and very straightforward. Walang
Direct
if I ask direct to the point na I will ask a client, do you like this or not? If you don't like it, we will adjust it, or I can have the developer implement the changes you want done. Ganun lang siya. Imbis na yung pa-sugarcoat mo pa, kasi time is of the essence, and you want immediate feedback as much as possible sa mga work mo. Because if you work online and you begin to accept clients, I mean, if you begin to accept projects, time is of the essence. You will learn that along the way. Yeah.
Thank you, JM. And I agree with you, no? I mean, I've met a lot of foreigners dahil sa yung mga napupuntahan ko recently. At palagi nga may nababanggit sa akin na, yung back office ko nasa Philippines. Like may VA siya sa Cebu, meron siyang VA sa Davao, o kaya palagi ako nakakamit ng ganon na mga foreigners na magugulat na lang ako upon introduction pa nalaman taga-Philippines ka. I have 3 VAs from the Philippines na working with me. Ganyan. Alright, so thank you very much everyone for joining this series, itong ating e-commerce and digital marketing mentoring program for MSMEs.